What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at DueDEX as well as the current coin market cap. As you guys can clearly tell, not my normal background. That is because I actually have a job that I got after college, and that is what I am currently doing right now. I will obviously update you guys more about what it is that I do specifically later on. Some of you might actually know, but we'll save that for another video. Otherwise, in today's episode, specifically, we're going to be talking about what has actually been going on within this crazy market that we know of. As you guys can see, massive drops and massive corrections to the downside have been happening on Bitcoin and a lot of the other cryptocurrencies. As you guys can see, Bitcoin right now has currently dropped from its $10,000 threshold all the way down to $8,000. This was a called and predicted drop. This was no surprise on the market. We were expecting this, we were anticipating this, and it has finally happened. It came a little earlier than expected, but it has officially happened. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can just DM me over there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So as you guys can see, yesterday I made a video which basically talked about what's next for XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin. We know that we are retesting a very critical part in the market where the price was actually, battling it out with the middle moving average, and we did finally see the massive drop that we have been anticipating. The volume has finally come. We've been holding off for the longest of times to expect this big volume movement, this big volume jump. This is what we were expecting. This is what we've been anticipating. This is what we've been holding out for, and it has finally happened. So that is great news for me. As we know, it's happened on Bitcoin and a lot of the cryptocurrencies. Market is down about 15% in total. Absolutely wild, with Bitcoin falling from 10K to 8,500, a $1,500 drop. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. This is huge. This is something that was a great moneymaker, and hopefully you guys took advantage of this. I've been saying it in the past couple of videos that this is a market and we're getting ready to short. I've been updating everyone on my Patreon to get ready for the big drop in the price that we were expecting, and this has finally happened. It was volume that was coming. We didn't necessarily know whether it was going to be a bullish break or a bearish one. I said it was about 70% bearish, and obviously that is exactly what happened. This was anticipated. We've been saying it on Patreon. There were going to be some big wicks forming in the market, and this is exactly what happened. Great opportunity, because as we know, we can now use DueDEX to short cryptocurrency. Specifically, DueDEX is used to short leverage, stop loss, buy long, sell short. It's a great website. So definitely check it out, and I'll talk about this more. But we actually made quite a bit of profit, or I made quite a bit of profit, and those of you who have me on Patreon probably did fairly well too. I do know, and I read all your comments. You guys are doing great. Huge shout out to everybody who has me on Patreon. The link is in the description for DueDEX as well as Patreon. But we actually shorted this market. We knew that the price of this crypto, we knew the price of Bitcoin had to pull back down to its uptrend. We had to set a new higher low. That is exactly what happened. You can see the uptrend is right here, clear as day on DueDEX. We knew that we were going to break through this resistance and fall back down, retesting the uptrend. It is exactly what happened. It played out perfectly. We knew that we were battling a very strong resistance, that we were seeing massive wicks up. It wasn't going to last, and there was a very good chance we'd break lower, retest the higher, the uptrend, and then eventually we would start to head up even higher. As you guys can clearly see, this is going to be a great buying opportunity. When we retest the bottom support here closer to 7,900 where the uptrend is, this is a great buying opportunity, and I'm hoping you guys took advantage of this. As you guys can see on the Bitcoin chart, same thing applies. This is my big focus. You can see when we look and extend out on the weekly for Bitcoin, we have a massive, and I mean massive, symmetrical triangle forming. We've talked about this in the past, that we were retesting a strong resistance, this downtrend, and we've had wicks which proved otherwise, that we would correct down below it and then eventually fall lower. And that's what we were anticipating. So I said in yesterday's video and the days before that if we wicked above here and we had a candle wick above here, we had literally less than a day for this candle to close. And if it did, we would know that we were going to see the correction. This shows a little bit over 5 days and 46 hours. Yeah, 5 days, 46 hours. So we have a couple days. We needed to see whether or not this candle was going to close. I believe, let's see, I just want to zoom in. Yeah, so we actually started a new candle, broke out above it, and then, corrected down below. We anticipated us to wick above here. We knew, and I was telling you guys at 10,000, it's kind of shaky. We have yet to have a actual candle close above this downtrend and start a new one. Every time we've gone above it, we've ended up wicking down, and that is exactly what happened. So we were anticipating, you guys have all known, everyone on my Patreon, all 70 of you have known that this was going to wick down. We were going to have some crazy formations, and then there was a good chance we'll probably head up even higher. So you can see now on the daily, what's anticipated is probably more consolidation on this uptrend. We'll probably move back up to $9,300, a slow and steady race back up to the top, but then we're going to probably experience another drop. So anticipate movement back up to around 94, and then a drop back down to about $5,500, and we'll continue it from there. So moving on from Bitcoin, I want to show you guys some of the other cryptocurrencies. As you can tell, pretty much the entire market was affected besides Bitcoin. Now, this is still a great opportunity to short, which I feel like a lot of people don't realize right now. There's still ways in this market, even with a drop, that we can profit off of big movements like this. Originally, when I first got involved into cryptocurrency back in 2017, early 2017, I only thought that the ways to make money off of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was to just buy low, sell high. But come to find out about DueDEX, or basically shorting, I heard about it, but I didn't know how. We could actually short cryptocurrency, so I was making money off the drops. So basically now to move forward and what is actually going to be happening, in the next couple of days, we have to consider what exactly is going on with this drop specifically. As we know, we saw a big movement down below our uptrend on Litecoin. We didn't really see it on Bitcoin, and this is the one that I really want to follow more than Litecoin specifically. When we look at Ethereum and XRP, I want to consider and figure and kind of understand that there's a good chance this is the end of this uptrend. We've been setting these higher lows. This is the first time we actually completed a lower low than the previous ones. So this ultimately tells us that this was a break to the downside from our uptrends. This is good though. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We needed the consolidation, especially on Bitcoin being so overbought. It finally needed to consolidate back down. And as you guys can see, we're having a bearish cross, or we're starting to have a bearish cross on Bitcoin. So there's definitely a very good chance that we're going to continue to kind of head lower than the current price at 8,500. We may definitely see 78 or 77. Sorry, $7,800 or $7,900 being retested before we head up. So to draw this out to make it a little bit easier for you guys to see, we may actually fall down lower and then start to climb up higher. I mean, we look great, but this consolidation was extremely relevant. It was extremely needed for this market to move us up to higher levels. And I think we will continue to head up higher. Now, as for XRP, this one is definitely crazy. As you guys can clearly tell, there's a massive downtrend, and we've been negative return on investment every year since the start, and we've just been facing this resistance and breaking bearish every single time. We have yet to break above here and close a candle above there and eventually head up higher. This one back here in February 3rd of 2020 was the closest call, but we didn't actually build the volume to break through it. We wicked right down below it. So that was another reason why it was retesting here and expecting to break bearish. So ultimately, that's kind of where my head's at, guys, in regards to where we're going for the next couple of months. Specifically on Bitcoin, that's the coin I want to talk about the most, because we can, short DueDEX. We can short Bitcoin on DueDEX. This is the coin I want to pay attention to the most. And the biggest takeaway from today's video is pay attention, guys. We've been calling this drop, day after day after day. We were anticipating the consolidation. We anticipated these massive wicks forming, and we can ultimately assume that we're probably going to head lower in the long term. So what I mean by that is we might see some more consolidation as we climb up this higher low, this uptrend right here, slowly climb back up, slowly retest $9,500. We may see that again, but I think after that, that is going to be it, and we're probably going to start to see some more, correction to the downside. We may actually see a $5,000 Bitcoin once again. I thought it was done. It's not, but we may see some more consolidation back down to here before we see, you know, $10,000 or $14,000 again. So consider shorting long term. That's where my head's at right now. I'm fairly bearish. This was a great opportunity and a wake-up call for some, but otherwise that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, guys. Definitely make sure to check out my Patreon, sign up for DueDEX. It's free. All the links are in the description. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, follow me on Twitter at CryptoViaOfficial, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.